G'day everyone, my name's Cautious Pancake and today let's have a look at a new build technique that will allow you to set up a completely OP horde base like this one that will freeze almost every zombie type during a horde, allowing for both easy combat or a complete AFK evening. To start this off, the idea is to get zombies stuck inside a block so that they can't move. Something that's been around since at least Alpha 20 is the ability to push zombies through cube blocks using a drawbridge. As you can see here, this works just fine still, and you can use this to create a base where the zombies will loop by pushing them through the blocks to fall down under the base and have to run back around. That's pretty standard though, so I wanted to go one better. I was originally hoping that putting in some half cube blocks would do the trick, but as you can see, this doesn't end up pushing the zombies through the block at all. They are able to crouch and just ignore it. I won't bore you with all the things that I tried that didn't work, but here's one that did, the storage cube half block. Using this block, when zombies are pushed into it, they go partway through, but then get stuck, popping their hands up in the air like they just don't. Bad lines aside, this is the basic concept behind the base, so let's jump straight into how it can be used at scale. Starting off with a walkthrough, zombies will head up this staircase to get to the main platform level. Once there, we have our platform of storage cube half blocks, 5 blocks wide and 15 blocks long, which just so happens is the right amount of space for 3 powered drawbridges in a row. The drawbridges are controlled in this setup by a motion sensor, which is powered from a generator bank tucked away behind this last pillar to hopefully avoid any cop spit interactions. This approach is then repeated on 2 more sides of the base, around a central tower that we can stand on. The path is then connected through a series of zombie drops. In case any zombies are able to make it all the way around, this section will ensure that they just fall down and repeat the loop. It's also our entrance to the tower, where we can sit out the horde in comfort. So that's how the base is set up, but let's jump into this horde night and see how it performs. As you can see, the zombies first make their way up, run across through here, trigger the motion sensor, which doesn't quite trigger in time for the first zombie to get through, but does trap that first infernal. Arlene's ripping around, too fast for the drawbridges, but they're continuing to fire over there, and as you can see, she falls down from the zombie dropper. Where do you go? Sneaking up on the side, but also gets caught by the second set of drawbridges. Oh, the infernal got yanked out again, and then dropped down underneath. But as you can see, the rest of the zombies, as they're making their way out, are getting caught pretty much nearly all in the first set, and a little bit in the second set. A few of them are hanging out on the staircase and getting confused and having a smash around, but they'll eventually come through. We do have a demo up here now. Let's see what happens with the demo. The demo's managed to punch through on top of the drawbridge, but then come back down. The spider zombies are not getting caught because they're too small. So there is one exception to our drawbridges. Spider zombies are not going to get caught. The demo looks like he's looped around again. That infernal's stuck on the staircase and doesn't seem to be moving. What else have we got going? The spiders are over there having a party. Nope, he's fallen down the zombie drop as well, so that's good. And the next one is a little bit confused by the pathing on the storage cube half blocks, but that's okay, he'll eventually drop through as well. That demo is still looping, so it does look like demos are also a type of zombie that isn't going to get frozen through this process. But for those that watch my channel, you know that there's an alternate way of freezing demo zombies, so we can use that at the front of the base if we really wanted to worry about those. Otherwise, they'll continue to pretty much just loop for the rest of the horde night. Now, since the spider zombies aren't going to get done, imagine that I had a sniper rifle, I could pick them off, and we know that they'll then respawn, or spawn a new zombie that'll run in. There we go. And because we got a rad this time, and maybe that's an infernal, I'm not sure if that's the one that was stuck before or if it's a new one. Either way, any new zombie that spawns will come running in and should get stuck once it can get past all those zombies at the front of the platform there. Once they get enough space, they get stuck in there, although this one got squished through. That demo's still just sort of cruising around, not doing anything. Here comes the rat again. There goes the demo. Still just messing about. Smacked on the head, but pops through the drawbridge. And then gets pushed through the platform. So I might just take him out as well. Again, you'd normally use normal weaponry. I'm just doing this to show you how it works. Eventually we should get somebody else spawning in. I think that rad has finally got caught. And frozen somewhere in there. Just waiting for the next one to come in. As you can see, the motion sensor is continuing to trigger the drawbridges because the zombies are stuck there. That's something that we might need to work out a better way to address. But, oh, there he is. Big guy slowly coming in. Okay, here we go, running across the top. And he's half stuck. Looks like he's mostly avoiding getting stuck. I wonder if he's going to end up immune as well. He's made it through. And this one's a little bit going, not sure what's going on with that drawbridge that's permanently stuck down. That's not the way it's supposed to be working. Unless I've wired that one up incorrectly. There's no one stuck in the third one. So we might just take him out. And then see what happens with his replacement. Here it is. Another Infernal coming through. Snuck up on top. Falls down into the pack. And if he doesn't pop back out again, then that's going to mean that he's stuck in there as well. So after having to kill, I think, 4 zombies, we've managed to get them all now stuck. With the reduced number of zombies in Horde Night, even when you sit to 64 now, we all know that it's only maxing out at 30. So that means that they're all stuck there and we're kind of free now to do whatever we want. So I'm going to run around here. We can run through here. We might turn this one off so that we don't get bonked on the head and see if they swing at us. Yep, they do swing at us as we run through, so that's something to keep in mind. We can also turn this one off. And as you can see, the zombies are stuck. They can't do anything. I mean, they can swing at us if we get too close, but we can come in, say hello. If you wanted to run past and go do some mining nearby to your base, you could. There'd be nothing to stop you, no zombies spawning, because it's Horde Night. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So from here, if you had a crafting base nearby as well, you could just go hang out there and do some stuff without even needing to worry about Horde Night. You could also fight them, of course, and we can take a look at that in a little bit. But from an AFK point of view, we can just take a seat and sit here and watch zombies. Whoa, hang on a minute. Where did you come from? Seems to be a party girl running around. I've turned off most of the drawbridges, so she might just be able to run and loot, but I'm not quite sure whether maybe one of the zombies despawned somewhere after a little while of being stuck in a block, or maybe she was an existing zombie that fell through that I didn't see. But yeah, she made it through, and since the other ones are turned off, there's nothing to squish her in those first 2 drawbridge sets, but the third one did get her, and there seems to be even now another nurse. So I'm not quite sure whether these are despawns or they're falling through. We didn't really have that many other zombies around. Now that one's stuck down. So we might just have to ignore her for the rest of the Horde Night, but it does look like occasionally you might get a despawn. I think that's what's happening. Oh, there it goes. It's woken up. Something's causing the zombies to despawn, and they're getting stuck. So she'll just fall through the zombie drop and come back around. So that's Blood Moon done. Didn't need to do anything in the end, but as you can see, there are still a few zombies that started to respawn. They're all still stuck, so I'm not really sure where they came from. But let's kill them all off for now and take a quick look at how much damage the base has taken. That drawbridge has taken only a few little points. Just need to sneak over here and turn the generator bank off. Except they're still stuck down, so these ones seem to be a little bit bugged out, but that's okay. Not expecting any damage really through here. These drawbridges, except for maybe over here where there was a zombie got stuck, but again, nothing dramatic. A little bit of damage to the drawbridge where that was stuck on one of the zombies' heads. They're going to take a swing if it's stuck down on top of them. And the same over here. That's one of the reasons to think about turning them off. Obviously that first drawbridge with the most zombies sitting underneath it, when that's popping up and down, they're going to take swings at it and do the most damage to that first one. A little bit of damage to some of these blocks. I was half expecting some of them to get knocked out just from the zombies getting stuck and bashing on them all night, but it's actually held up really, really well. There's a few bits of damage here and there. Can't see anything obvious damaging to the staircase, even though a few of them did get stuck right at the beginning of Horde Night, or at least confused and stood around on the staircase for a while. But overall, damage-wise, that looks really, really good. Now, there are a few zombie types that we didn't really get during the Horde Night. One of those was dogs, so let's just have a quick look at how they go. They're going to beat the timer on the first guy, but the 4 other dogs, as you can see, all got trapped in the cubes, just like the other zombies. So zombie dogs pass. Let's try dire wolves next. How do they go? They go straight through the drawbridge. That's not great. And then, oh, he's wiggling about. So they all got through there. Let's try the second bank. One's got popped out the bottom. 2 more are kind of half stuck, but then they pop back up the top. And same again. Is he stuck? No, he's come back out. So Direwolves is a fail, which joins the demos as a fail. And lastly, zombie bears also get pushed through. So I'm guessing they're also going to be a fail. So overall, zombie bears, demos, and direwolves all fail this test for getting stuck in these blocks, which is interesting because that's the exact same group that did get stuck with my demo freezing entrance. So if you combine this base with that, you'll get the perfect combination of freezing all zombie types. And I forgot to have a look at cops, which we didn't get during the Horde Night. Cops will get stuck. As you can see here, they get the same hands up in the air party pose. But they will also keep spitting at you if they can see you from the central tower. As you can see, I'm standing up on the edge to give them a nice line of sight. So make sure, if you're going to get a Horde Night with cops and you're using this approach, that you put something in place to break their line of sight, or to at least block the cop spit. So that was the AFK version. What we might do now is take a look at what we need if we wanted a more combat-oriented version of this base. So let's knock out the bits that are probably excessive after having run that last one. And we'll turn this from a kind of AFK designed square base into a single platform designed around combat. So here's what that could look like. As you can see, we've got our crafting area with the same sort of separation of the crafting base, but here we've got more of a combat oriented setup. We've got some blocks just to sort of break up the cops bit, but also to give us a barrier to block any zombies that do make it all the way across, just to hold them up so they can't get to us. We've also added in a switch hooked up to the motion sensor so that we can easily turn the drawbridges on and off while leaving the lights on. That's pretty much all I did though. So let's bring in the Horde and see how it goes. Here comes our first zombie as we stuff some recog in our face. And they all get stuck, which is really to be expected. Lots more zombies coming in through the rubble of the previous base. All the pathing is working just as normal, so that's good. And you can see that we can just sort of sit here and shoot zombies in the head nice and easily. As long as we dodge the drawbridges and avoid the zombies that get yanked out by their heads. Otherwise, it's just shoot the spinning zombies in their heads. Nice easy headshots. Just using the tactical assault rifle for this one. Could use a sniper if that's your build. Otherwise they all get sort of mostly caught up right back at the start, as the same way as they did before. If you make it down this end, especially at the beginning, but otherwise that doesn't happen too much. And spiders will continue to make their way through, so we just need to take them out. Like that. And then if we want to turn the drawbridges off for a bit, we can take some pot shots without aiming. Watch them spin even faster as we shoot them. Or otherwise just sit here and take individual shots as fast or as slowly as you like. The zombies can't move, they're hardly bashing into any box. They do take the occasional swing, as we saw before, but not really do a lot of damage. And once they start to come through again, if you want to then just hold them up, you can just hit it once, lock them down so they don't do any damage to the front gates and platform, and then turn it off again so that the drawbridges aren't in the way of you shooting. Another option you can go with is grenades. With them all banked up right at the front there, it does make a good little target. Whoops, that wasn't a good one. Does make a good bunched up target for some grenades. You could use Molotovs as well if you wanted to, but at higher tiers, that's not going to be as effective. And obviously, you're not going to have the powered drawbridges to build this base early on. So you are probably going to have some decent tier zombies when you take this on. Don't know where that rad went. It might have fallen through or just vanished. Look at him spin. Whee! Oh, you do have to watch out for the zombies that come across the side there. Doesn't happen very often. You can obviously build something to protect it if you really wanted to, but it's not really that much of an issue to need to do. Just if you really wanted to play it ultra safe, or you were using this base to mostly AFK, because of course you can just turn around and use your crafting base if you get bored with fighting the zombies. He really does like the spinning. One final adjustment that I thought might be worth also taking a look at if you're going for the combat version is to put in a zombie dropper up the front. As you can see, I've just put my usual pole half plate version in, and for those that manage to run through quickly before the motion sensor kicks in, they do just kind of fall down, and even if they get stuck a little bit, those drawbridges knock them down nicely through the bottom. So this might be another addition that you want to consider adding in, that little zombie dropper at the front. You still get most of the zombies caught by the drawbridges at the other end of the platform, so it's much the same as before. You can shoot them or not, grenade them or not, that type of thing. But it does mean for the zombies that can come all the way through, like demos and spiders, they'll just drop through like that. He got particularly well timed shove through the gap, but anybody else that makes it through, let's see what happens with this demo. He got through and then gets squished. He's still on the platform and then knocked through. So that's working perfectly. For the zombies that we don't really want to have to worry about, they will just loop all night until we get a chance to shoot them. Otherwise, if we decide not to, they'll just completely loop. The rest of them though get stuck there and immobilized, so we don't really have to worry about them. So there you have it, how to use the storage cube half block with powered drawbridges to freeze nearly all of the zombies on Horde Night. Please drop a like if you found this video useful, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more 7 Days to Die in the future. Massive thanks as always to my patrons shown here. Thanks to you for watching this video, and happy zombie freezing.